Yes.
Alright, what's this part? All your credits have been wasted. Music though. Oh, man. Not really feeling that. I mean, the bat signal's sweet, but...
You should have a little animation of this kid flapping. Just a little bit.
Yeah.
That's odd.
You are #1. Please enter your... The game was really short. We should beat the whole game.
Yeah. Pretty quick. It's a fun little playthrough.
It is. You can beat it pretty quick. Keeps your attention for just long enough. Let's talk about the old one, I guess. Right? Like, fairly easy, I would say. I wouldn't say there was anything that was too hard there.
Yeah.
Although, there is some situations where if you're not timing things correctly, like the jump, you're going to end up in the hole.
Yeah. Difficulty comes into play where not knowing where to jump, or also not knowing like your capabilities, how far you can jump, and stuff like that. The hardest part of the game was the platform. The beat 'em up part was like nothing. It's really easy.
What did you think about it and how it related to the movie? You said that this game was based off of the movie.
Yeah, almost to the T.
To the T.
Yeah, well, obviously they did some creative inserts. A lot of things you see in the game weren't in the movie, but for the most part, they did really well. They captured the scenery and a lot of the popular scenes. The Axum chemical plants. You have the monastery that he goes into at the end. It's really iconic scenes there. They had good use of the Batmobile, which none of the other Batman games did.
Cool.
Yeah.
I really liked that the mini game.
Yeah.
Where you had the Batmobile.
Yes, and the Nightwing. He was in the Nightwing too.
Oh, I didn't see that mini game.
Yeah.
What's the mini game with the Nightwing?
You're in the Nightwing.
Sweet.
It's the same like user interface, and you've got the Joker's balloons that you've got to try to blow up.
Cool.
Yeah.
So, what would you rate this game? Let's say out of 5 stars.
I'll give it. I'll give it a 4.
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
Where do you think they could have received that 5th star?
They could have improved on the length of the game. They also could have improved on. Actually, how can I say this? That's pretty much it, to tell you the truth.
So you think that it was just kind of missing some additional levels or something like that? Did you think that,
Level design, that's what bothered me. A lot of things are confusing, not knowing which direction to go, not knowing what's actually part of the game that can hurt you, as opposed to just scenery or background.
For instance, like when those bells were falling.
Exactly, yeah.
And that's part of where the game gets a little hard, I guess. There it becomes tricky. Otherwise, it might be a little linear.
The tricky part is just not knowing what to expect. Like, you've got those little Joker boxes, and they take away a huge amount of health.
Right.
So it's like, man.
So there's no consistency in what damage is actually not worth, like, dodging as compared to, like, certain enemies or whatever, dodging them and getting past them, just pushing through them is probably better than trying to fight them.
Yeah, exactly. Like the ninjas. They took so many hits, and it's like they never died.
What do you think about the animations and it visually?
I really liked the visuals, and the animations were also... They were really interesting. I think they put a lot into them. You know, it wasn't just simple animations.
I mean, this is 1990s game.
They got the posture of Batman, like, as he's fighting, his moves, the jump kicks and everything, they got it spot on. And with the Joker, too, I think a lot of his mannerisms they picked up on really well. Subtleties.
Subtleties.
Yes.
What about the art?
The art?
Like this type of art right here. I mean, it seems very out of the box.
Too generic.
Yeah, it seems very like they didn't really spend too much time like making it any better or doing anything other than what the movie.
Yeah.
It seems like pretty cookie cutter to me.
Yeah, a
Um,
little on the plain side.
I would have liked to see something that was like that's a little more different.
Yeah.
But then you said that we've had a few things that were quite different with the game, so
Mhm.
that's cool.
As far as like when you're actually playing the game, I like the graphics.
Mhm.
But when it's like just
The
screens,
cutscene.
yeah,
Cutscenes.
exactly. Like the intro screen here and a few other screens, like where you've got your high scores.
Mhm.
Very plain, very generic. They could have done something better with the Batman logo, make it shiny, make it have a gloss on it. You know.
I do like how they. I wish it was spun a little bit like old school instead of just flashing out. I mean, like, but I'm still very happy with that because it's very true to Batman. The better parts of the game. What did you think was the best part of this game?
Best part of the game. Wow. That's hard to say. I like the theme, the look, the feel. They captured the Batman vibe. You know, they incorporated the movie really well into the game.
I
They-
feel the best part of the game was actually the sound.
The sound.
Outside of the ending thing, I mean, when we had the one-liner cutscenes in between,
Yeah,
I mean, those were great. I think they should have done more of that.
more of that definitely.
I think more one-liners, more fun stuff,
more Batman voiceovers, more Joker.
more Batman voiceovers, more Joker voiceovers.
Yes.
That was something I think did really well. I think that they should have done more of that.
Absolutely.
You know,
I agree.
the ending music was really bad.
That was just weird.
It was. It was like I don't feel like I'm winning anything in a Batman here. Batman is like when you're winning, you should heard like him, like you were saying. You see a silhouette of him or his cape floating in the wind with a bat signal, and you hear something that reminds you of what Batman embodies.
Yeah.
The ending music sounded like you just entered a town in an RPG or something, like a medium level. It didn't sound like we're winning the game. Like it sounded like we just entered the town. Like I mean, I'm not really like interested in that, and that honestly killed it for me.
That totally threw me
That's
off.
why I would give it 4 stars, and I agree with you on that. Is that it's a 4-star game, even though you know.
I have to say, the controls, the hit detection are really tight. It's spot on.
Mhm.
And I love that. It's like you don't have to be super close up to the guy or like even medium range to hit him. You could just hit him right where you would expect to hit him.
Right.
And it works every time.
Right. Well, I mean, based on what they were trying to do with the game, I think they did a good job. Because, you know, this is that movie thing. It's, hey, the movie producers are trying to spend as little amount of money as possible to generate more money. So they're going to take the theme of the game because they have the rights to, and they already have the concepts and the storylines, so they don't have to spend so much money on developing people to do that.
Right.
Whereas, like, in RPGs, like, you know how long it takes for someone to actually build these storylines and these concepts and all these everything, the mapping systems and stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's why platforming, I've seen quite a bit of it go from movie to a platform game.
Oh yeah.
Because it seems like they're minimizing a lot of the expenses that would be involved with, let's say, a really good RPG or something like that.
Yeah.
Being that was their point, you know, that was where they were trying to get to. That was their end game. I think they did it pretty well. I think they could have changed a few things, but I think any Batman fan that enjoys platformers with a little bit of fun and a little bit of pizzazz, because it does have some fun little things, the mini games, the one-liners, you know, were really cool.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I'd recommend it to someone.
I definitely recommend it.
I mean, I don't know if many people can have the option to play this because this was an arcade version, or was it an actual
arcade only? So they didn't adapt it to any other console. They didn't port it. You can only find it in the arcade.
Wow, rare.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Sounds good. Sweet. Let's game.
Get in the car.